What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we are coming back with another Wistoria chapter. Today we are dealing with chapter 44. We're really close to catching up, and it's gonna hurt, too, because we are in the middle of a huge arc. So let's go ahead and jump in, shall we? Now, when we left off last, we had Will, and we had Liana, and they had kind of caught this imposter kind of down an alley who basically had taken over this other person, Emma. And, I mean, it just seems like she's basically playing her like a puppet on strings. It's really crazy. And they're kind of having this interaction where they're like, what is going on here? Now, there seems to be a little bit of backstory here where it shows this person taking control of Emma and shows her just like, basically, you know, she really doesn't have a choice. Like, this is not an option. And you can see the chains there are made of magic. Like, this is something that she's not going to be able to escape. Now, she is now, I mean, basically we get 2 pages of the backstory and then we catch up here. And she is basically just taunting them. Like, this person is pretty confident she's going to win. She feels like she holds all the cards. And all she's doing is spending so much time telling him, like, hey, look, I'm shocked it took you this long to figure it out. What's wrong with you guys? You know? I mean, just taunting him like crazy. And basically Will starts going like, hey, you know, it did take us a while to figure it out, but yeah, you're part of Goetia. Admit it. And she's just like, I mean, very cryptic, never really gives him a straight answer. And Will's like, there could be others around. We need to play this very cautiously. Where there's one, there's definitely many, right? And I mean, that I won't say it seems to be the case, but it's very logical, right? And yeah, she's not really giving him any answers either. She's just like, keep digging. Yeah, keep going. Like, this person not only is very cryptic, but also seems very unhinged. I think we kind of know that from the first time she showed up. She just exudes the aura of somebody who just flat out isn't completely all there. But yeah, so they basically commence this little battle here, and she unleashes this crazy, like, dark wind attack. And they're like, that very clearly is the attack she used on Julius. And, I mean, she's at range with them. They didn't even mention with Julius. Like, if you're wondering why they're able to escape and Julius wasn't, they even mentioned that with Julius, it basically happened at point blank range. Like, more or less held her hand up to his chest and just launched the attack. So, didn't really have a chance to do much. But she's just unleashing all these crazy attacks. You can see the chains coming out of the ground there, and just all this stuff is happening. And let me just say, I cannot wait. This is another one of those episodes that is really going to shine when it's animated. Please let us get to this point in the anime. Please, because this is insane. Sorry, I keep nicking the mic there. I talk a lot with my hands, and much to my detriment because I have a microphone on my face. But I get really into these. It's really crazy. And try as she might, she can't quite get Will and Liana. They just keep evading her, and she's like, y'all are slippery, and y'all are fast. And she mentions, she's like, they seem to be even faster than most of the rest of the Thunder faction. And that kind of tracks a little bit. I mean, even though Liana was kind of lagging behind him in the races, we know that when it matters, Liana really can stand on her own. But most of this right here really isn't, there's not a lot of, like, talk. It's mostly just her unleashing these attacks and Will and Liana more or less just on the defense. Just dodging. You get a little back and forth here, but really there's not a lot of plot. It's just a lot of taunting and exposition, and that's kind of about it. And she's like, Emma, summon your guardians. Will encircle them with help from my shadows. So she's not only commanding, like, her magic, she's also commanding Emma's magic. So you really have, like, 2 foes in one. And that's really nuts. And Liana's kind of worried about Will, but he's like, don't worry about me. He's like, I've been able to keep up this whole time. You're all good. Right? And we know that Will ultimately has a lot more in the tank. Like, don't forget, the whole time this is happening, notice Will hasn't had to unleash any of his, like, extra power. He hasn't had to revert to his white-haired form. He hasn't really had to, like... He did learn a little bit on... I mean, a little bit. He learned pretty extensively how to control it and how to turn it on and off and, what little... it's like a faucet. It was never, like, on... Or it was on, then off. And he learned how to turn very slowly and give himself just small percentages at a time. But because of that, he can really keep up. And he's holding his own here, right? And she kind of charges this attack and gives him basically a thunderstorm using his Whis. And he is able to go in for this crazy attack. Notice he says prime. That basically means that he is prepped an attack. And that thundersword is going straight at their opponent. And she's taken off guard. Like, this is not something that she was anticipating. And she's like, this is not good. This is where she mentions that they're faster than the other people from the Thunder faction. And she's throwing the chains out, like, in fast order. And Liana even shatters a bunch of the chains here. Like, it's just pretty crazy. And, yeah, they just kind of go back and forth. And he even takes that big sword and just kind of like, right down on the chains. Like, it is wild how this goes down. And Liana's like, you're done. This is it. You need to face the music. You've been bested. You have nowhere left to run. And that's when these two show up. And it really feels like there was a lot of build up to this character. And it just feels like she fell on her face. There's really... It seems like not a lot going on here. But then... just the laughing. And really... in reality, those two are exactly what she needed. And she's like, this is great. Timing couldn't be better. You are idiots. And then zaps these two dudes up. And turns them into her puppets. So now she's not only got Emma, she's got two other people as her puppets. And essentially, her forces are just basically growing. She's like, I've been working on this way longer than you two have been involved. I've been doing this for a long time. I have been weaseling my way into the faction and slowly getting all these people accustomed to my... basically, she's using the smell from the flowers to make this happen. And she's like, I've been getting them accustomed to it. I've been slowly weaseling my way in. Been working my way, playing a long game. And now it looks like it's time to show you what it's all about. And just unleashes holy hell on these two. And Emma even sneaks up on Will. And, I mean, you could tell there, she's just like, get out of here, run. But you could see there, like, the conflict. Like, this is the part of her where she's still at least cognizant of what's happening. And then she's got this other half here that's just all business. And all these attacks are being unleashed, and she's just having a blast. She's like, this is great. No matter how far down they get, it seems like she will always have a way to get back up and to get the upper hand. And she even blasts Will back into this building. Like, and we've seen this before, where Will's, like, blown back into something and is just absolutely destroyed. And she's like, you're a maniac, Blade Boy. Talking, obviously, to Will, knowing that he's not on the same level magically as everyone else. Of course, that actually is a little bit of a misnomer now. Like, now he's kind of on that same level. But it ends here. It doesn't end. This is not the end of the story, but this is the end of the chapter. Will is blown back, seemingly knocked unconscious. Liana's kind of left on her own. And we will pick up with the next chapter on Sunday. So make sure you guys like, comment, share. It's just getting real from here. Cannot wait.